So as for your astral travels, is that kind of a nightly thing, or?
Every single night, yes. And I can do it in the middle of the day. I mean, like spontaneously, we could just do it right now if I wanted to, but usually I pick the nighttime because in the daytime I'm doing so many practical things, like the typical mother. Oh wait, I could go check on the Middle East, but I have dishes to do.
Yep, that's definitely the difficult balancing act.
Yes, yes.
So you said that our dreams are actually astral traveling.
Yes, they are.
But there's obviously a distinction between that and another form of astral traveling, right? Or maybe not another form, but or perhaps another awareness of it.
It's another dimensional aspect of it. And when most people are dreaming, they're unaware that they are dreaming. So the difference between astral projection and dreaming is the awareness. Lucid dreaming is the closest you get to bridging the gap between out-of-body travel that's conscious and dreaming, which is unconscious, where you're actually out of body. Your consciousness is interacting with the fifth and sixth dimensional realities, mostly symbolic forms of your own thoughts in your life, your own fears, things like that. But when you start to become lucid dreaming, then you wake up to the reality that you can control it. It's literally like a hologram that responds instantaneously to your thoughts. So that gets really fun. But there are way, way higher dimensional realities than that. And consensus realities, much like Earth is a consensus reality. And it just gets, I mean, it's so complicated. It gets so complicated. Anything you could possibly dream up that applies to the same rules that are available to this universe exists in the multidimensional aspects of this universe. Of course, there are multiple universes as well. And it makes no point to talk about them whatsoever because they don't even operate by the same laws or rules. To use a language, to use this language to convey it is not even possible. By using a word, you've already lost the essence of the other dimensional realities in other universes. So, but like you can look at all kinds of different things out of body. I spend a lot of time surveying human consciousness. It's almost like It's almost like when you get into these other dimensional realities, you have a telescope or a. Is that not a telescope? No, like a microscope, right? On Earth. That's one of my favorite things to look at. And so you can zoom in on human consciousness. You can zoom in on cetacean consciousness. You can zoom in on insect consciousness. You can zoom out on collective consciousness. You can look at any aspect that you want to. So that, and of course, if you're looking for your answers to questions that you've got, it's about the most perfect thing you could do. It's like an unlimited library. But not all perspectives agree, which is when you get into issues.
Fascinating. And so is it sort of always a drag when you come back to Earth, or
it's a startling shift. It seems to be that the vibration between the fourth and the third dimension is dramatic enough that you can really feel the difference, you know. And so it's hard. It used to be harder. I've gotten way more used to it. It's kind of like when you first do a deep sea dive and you feel what it's like to pressurize. It's like really jarring. But after X amount of times of doing it, it becomes a normal sensation. And so you don't react to it with as much violence. But it's not always a drag, no. And there's really nothing quite as good as like tastes or smells or sights in this particular dimension. So
that's what I was going to ask next is, when you get it right on third dimensional reality, is that kind of like the best thing?
Yeah, that's why everybody wants in here.
Yeah, because it's the most kind of visceral or something, or
yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like the most embodied, so you get to like it's a multi-sensory experience of love or a multi-sensory experience of comfort, and that's really unparalleled. I mean, it's funny because we like to always glorify the idea of objectivity without realizing just how beautiful subjectivity is. And you've got the opportunity in a third dimension with an extreme level of subjectivity, which can just be amazing, you know? And what's super fun, what I find fun, of course, is that when you go to the higher dimensional levels, you can come into different subjective realities, which is honestly how I do a lot of my work with people. What I can do is go up out of my body and then into theirs. So I can actually, and by the way, a lot of non-physical beings can experience life through your perspective. So I can do that. And it's really interesting to see just how drastically different subjective realities just between people are on this planet. You would think the purple is purple to everyone, but it sure as hell isn't.